following episode of Chewsday Special Podcast is brought to you by Cabarrus Brewing Company. Cabarrus Brewing, 329 McGill Avenue in Concord, North Carolina. Your beer from here. More information at cabarrusbrewing.com. This episode is also brought to you by Threadforge Apparel Company of Newberry, South Carolina. Direct-to-garment printing company serving the Carolinas and beyond. Custom shirts, hoodies, tanks, and more. For more information, look up their Facebook page at Threadforge Apparel Company. These guys are printing my shirts, and they are the best. All right, let's get to the episode.
Everything you said they already knew, more or less.
Well, here's something that you didn't know. 2 of those special atomic bombs haven't gone off.
Welcome to another edition of the Chewsday Special Podcast. I'm your host. My name is Patrick Price. It's hot. It's super hot in this garage, and I'm wearing a sweatshirt, and I don't know why, but I'm getting prepared for our conversation today with one of my best friends in life, the third member of the 3 mainstays of the KanePunch Comedy crew, that is Nicholas Clemency. And this conversation is everything that I wanted it to be. Me and Nick's schedules are like always going somewhere doing something. So it's been hard to catch up with him. And I finally got him here. I finally got him in the garage. And we had an amazing conversation. We talk about music, him getting me into music, our fun trip to St. Louis. And I'm going to end the episode with a song that has never been released of Nick's off of an album that we recorded probably 6 years ago. So, strap your seatbelts, get in a comfy position. If you're driving, keep your eyes on the road, but your ears open for this amazing conversation. And this is my conversation, episode 9 of the Chewsday Special Podcast with the one and only super talented Nick Clemency. Take it away. This is my second pre-workout today. Is that a bad thing?
I mean, I don't know if you should be taking pre-workout unless you plan on working out.
Well, usually, like if I want to take the Alpha Brain, in order for me to, did you take yours?
Yeah, I took mine.
Like in order for it to hit almost like Adderall used to,
Yeah.
I have to drink coffee.
Ah.
But Katie's the one that makes the coffee because we got one of those bougie coffee makers.
Gotcha.
And they, Katie's got to be the one that makes coffee, and she's not here. So this is the alternative.
There you go. I think we could have figured out the bougie coffee maker, but it's all good.
You also have to boil water.
Oh.
That takes too long.
Yeah, that's way too much.
Like, what happened to the days that you just put the stuff in the machine?
Wait a minute. What, she got like a full-in espresso machine?
I don't know. It's the, the glass cylinders, and you put the boiling water, and then you...
Kind of like the barometer barista.
I have no idea.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
I know we have one at work, and we call it the bougie coffee.
I got the bootleg Keurig.
Oh,
the
the
single
Mr.
serve,
Coffee one?
the single serve Mr. Coffee one.
Oh yeah. That's what we had, but it broke, and then she had that from
gotcha.
her house. And
Ooh, excuse you, King.
yeah, it's good.
I mean, no doubt.
But for me, I'm not a coffee drinker,
Yeah.
so French vanilla coffee creamer makes coffee for me.
Absolutely.
Like it's either a hit or miss. I might drink it, I might not.
Right.
If I don't have French vanilla.
I've gotten to the point where if I get just the right amount of creamer, I don't need sugar. But I don't know if that's a good thing because it might mean I use too much creamer too. So
Maybe.
I don't even. At that point, I think it's all sugar rush and no caffeine.
Yeah.
At that point, which is fine.
Like,
that's the whole point.
I tried to figure out this like systematically to the point where I know at work if I do like a small like coffee cup, it's 1 pack of the sugar substitute, and then 1 little thing of the French vanilla, and that's it. So if I do a standard size cup, it's 2 of each,
8 ounces.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So and that keeps the taste consistent because I'm not a coffee drinker.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. Most of the time, I like my coffee like I like my man, black and strong.
Ooh.
So I'll just put 1 pack of Splenda to an 8 ounce cup of black coffee.
I struck out on both those. Neither black nor strong.
That's okay. That's all right. I'll still sip you.
That's it.
I'll take a sip. You know what I mean?
So this is one of my best friends in the world, Nick Clemency.
Hello.
The third member So now we'll have the whole KanePunch Comedy crew, except
right.
for Nick King. I got Nick King on.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we have the 3 founding members
Yes.
of the KanePunch Comedy crew.
KanePunch Comedy.
And if you see us sweating, we're in the garage, and I'm wearing a cut-off sleeve hoodie.
Yeah.
So I think I'm sweating more than you right now.
I'm actually pretty good right now.
So I might sweat through this entire thing, but this is what I put myself through.
Well, I mean, you are drinking pre-workout. So
I'm
it only
drinking
makes sense.
pre-workout.
It only
We're in
makes
about
sense.
an 80-degree, 85-degree garage, and I got a big workout hoodie on.
I'm not gonna lie, man. This is like one of those dream garages, man, that you wish you would have had growing up.
Yeah.
But now you're adult and you got one. I don't know if that makes it twice as cool or just like, eh.
I don't know. It's like a man. It's a man cave.
It is a man cave.
It's a man cave, but missing one main ingredient, and that's air conditioning.
Air conditioning and a bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you can pee outside.
Well, it
You can't
smells
poop
like a
outside.
bathroom in here, so
Does
it's
it
really
smell like
not.
a bathroom
No,
in
I'm
here?
just kidding.
It might be because I'm sweating.
No, it's
even
just. I mean,
hotter.
it's just got that mold of mist smell.
Gotcha.
If there's like a candled scent, this would be the one that I would go for. No, it's not that bad. I'm just kidding. I'm just ragging him about his. My man.
So
cave.
I'm glad you came out to one of the Wrestling Open Forum.
I did.
shows.
I did. I actually enjoyed watching and not speaking for once.
Really?
So that was cool.
This is weird.
Yeah.
It's weird when you don't do everything.
It
See,
is.
it's different. Like the atmosphere now for me is different.
Yeah.
Because forever I was the one in the background,
Right.
and now I've tried to step out of my comfort zone and step into the light.
There you go.
And I'm starting to get used to it.
It's
It has always aggravated me how easily you and Joel do it.
but that's the crazy part, because I was telling Joel the other day, like, it's easy because you've done it for so long, but then when you stop doing it and then go back into it,
Yeah.
it's like 3 times harder
Yeah.
to an extent, because it's like you get so used to doing it. It's like breathing. We don't think about breathing.
Yeah.
And so when you're doing entertainment and you're doing it all the time and you got stuff constantly happening, you don't even think about it. And then
Yeah.
when you take a step back, kind of like we did, well, all 3 of us, even though we're kind of doing our own separate things, you jump back into it. And dude, those last 2 shows I did, I was a nervous wreck.
Yeah.
You saw how I was at the brewery before the show. I mean, I couldn't sit still.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, I
You were
really,
a little more low key, you like keyed down.
I was.
At Bella's.
I
when we did
was.
the
I was a lot
Bella's.
more low key. That really had to do with the fact that we actually came together beforehand and really kind of just talked and got to mingle with the crowd and that kind of stuff. But like at the brewery,
Well, that was like Bella's was like our crowd.
yeah, it was the brewery.
Cabarrus was not.
Cabarrus for me, and the thing, but it's like that was a cold turkey move. Like I wasn't doing anything,
Yeah.
and then we got the show. And to be honest with you, I didn't prep that much because I'm like, I've done this before, no big
Yeah.
deal. And at that point, it'd been 2 years.
Yeah. Oh, had it.
2 years, and then so I go
Whoa.
back. I go to do it again, and I'm freaking out. Like I mean,
Yeah.
even Joel at one point was like, "Nick, you got to chill." I was just like, "Man, I can't. Like, I don't want to blow it." Especially
Did I
when
seem eerily like calm
Yeah.
for that? Do I ever seem eerily
you
calm?
were like, it was making me nervous how nervous you weren't.
Yeah, I was.
know what
I
I'm
was
saying?
like, because I've established this like mechanism where
Yeah.
if I start feeling nervous, I don't show it.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, and that's what was freaking me out. Like
Yeah,
I said, because you were like
But in my
10 times
head,
more calm than I was.
in my head,
Yeah.
it's going crazy.
Yeah.
But I can't show it. And that might come from having the position that I have, like in the wrestling company, to where if I start as a leader, if I start showing nerves, everybody else is going to be like,
Everybody
"Oh
gets nervous,
God,
too.
you see
Yeah.
Patrick's freaking out about
Yeah.
something." But also, I've learned that also makes me look like an a-hole.
You were less of an asshole this time around than you were the first time we did the show.
Well, I've tried,
which was cool,
I've
and
tried.
that's fine.
But
But I
like,
mean, we know you want things
from
right.
from a perfectionist
From a
standpoint,
perfectionist standpoint, you just want things
I
right.
want everything to go perfect.
Yeah.
And sometimes my strive for perfectionism,
Yeah.
like messes up my friendship. Not friendship.
It can
but
come off.
Yeah,
it can come off a
as
bit
very,
tundered.
Yes.
That's a new word for
yes.
you. Tundered.
It can come off as I'm trying to run everything and I'm being an asshole.
But
and
it's fine.
sometimes I am.
But it's fine. We have our little spats,
Yeah.
and then we get over it, and then we keep moving, and that's what makes such a great group, for us.
Well, the beauty of us is once we matured.
Yeah.
Like we could sit down as adults and have the conversation of, listen, Patrick, this is what you need to work on.
Yeah.
Joel, this is what you need to work
Yeah.
on. Nick, this is what you need to work on. And we actually take that feedback and
sure.
try to work on it.
Yeah.
Because that's the way I've been ever since we started doing stuff again. Is like I'm the one that always freaks out. I'm the one that they keep me grounded in a sense of me and someone. can't remember. It was one of the last few podcast episodes. Me and someone were talking about. God, damn it. We're talking about when something hits for me. It's like then I have to just go. Yeah. It's like I can't let it just organically build. Yeah. It's like if I do something like the Chewsday Special, when it hits and I get up to like 1,000 or 5,000, then I need T-shirts. I need to be on this. I need to be on that. I need to do this, which makes me grow way faster than I should. I should just continue keep rolling. Yeah, keeping the pace. I don't know. It's a weird place to be.
Well, and to be all honest, when I was doing music, I was the same way, right? You make one song, it hits. Now I got to do a full album, right? We fly to St. Louis and we do 14 tracks. Oh yeah, we need to get in
some of those stories.
We do 14 tracks in less than 48 hours. Yeah, and then we're back on the plane and we're back home, right? Yeah. And that whole build up really just gassed out because I think at that point everybody that was involved in that project was just over it. You know what I'm saying? Well, to an extent.
You know what the craziest thing about that project is? Yeah. Is that we still have those songs.
We do.
And they've never a lot of them have been played for friends and family and this and that, but some of them are there, have never been out and could go out right now, especially in the music the way it is now. Yeah. Can go out.
Well, Lil Wayne took 6 years to put an album out. Yeah. Why not me? But I think
I'm going to push you until we do it to release that album.
And please do. Yeah. Because I need that.
Amazing.
It really is a good album. It's crazy because the hit song came from a joke, and then next thing I know, I've written 14 tracks.
I remember. Let's not gloss over that trip because that was the epic piece of our friendship and lifetime.
Oh yeah.
Long story short, I've told this very briefly on other episodes of the podcast. Yeah. Nick, when he came back from the military, was the one that came to me and said, "Hey, you want to do music?" And I was like, "I've never done music, but I can look and see what I need, and we can try." And we bought a keyboard, M audio interface, and a microphone.
And I had the MacBook at the time.
Yeah, and he had the MacBook at the time.
The big,
and I had the iMac. I had just gotten an iMac. Yeah. I had just gotten an iMac for school, and we found GarageBand.
Yeah,
and
great resource.
Yeah, great resource for podcasting.
Yeah, who knew? I mean,
But yeah, and then we made music, and I want to say we did a few funny songs, that were just not very good at all. But the first song that we did, that we put all our effort into, and it was good, but it wasn't to the level that it is now. Was Electric Passion?
Yeah, so that exactly what the song we were talking about. We were making it started out as this funny. I'm going to get you home, I'm going to put you in the tub, and then I'm going to throw a toaster in it. And then we were going to call it Electric Passion. And we had a laugh. Man. We went on, we laughed 4 or 5 days about that song. And then what happened, the reason it got better was because I made the beat. And then you were like, wait a minute, dude, this beat is too good to just fold. And so at the time, you remember Jay Trax was involved in the project. So I shot it to him.
Who's an insane producer.
Yeah, I shot it to him, and I was like, hey, man, listen to the song. Tell me what you think. And
he said, send me the instrumental.
He said, send me the instrumental. And, so we sent him the instrumental, and then within not even 12 hours.
Yeah, it was quick.
I woke up, and he completely redid the beat. But it was amazing. It was amazing. And at that point in time, me and Pat looked at each other. We was like, yo, we got to make this a real song.
Oh, yeah.
And so, we put the track down, man. This is the crazy part at that time. This is when auto-tunes, before it got really super heavy, it was already kind of there. Yeah. And then we started taking the techno-organic and really started mixing that together. And before we knew it, we had a whole album called Electro Love.
Well, that song laid the foundation for that entire album.
It really did, because once we made Electric Passion and we just heard, just between the lyrics, between the effects and everything there was this symmetry between what was organic and what was synthetic, which is crazy. And we made Electric Passion, and then we put out Megawatts. We did the 3-track LP, Electric Passion, Megawatts, and then
wasn't Ready to Go is one of my favorite songs.
Ready to Go,
but that's where that came later.
That came later. That actually came when we recorded out there.
I'm trying to think.
What was the other? What was the slow one?
I did not know we were going to get into this, or else I would have researched it.
It's all good.
Electric Passion, Megawatts,
and well, we put the Hero song. We put the Hero track out.
Hero. Yes.
So
because we already had two that you had done prior with Charlie up in St. Louis.
Right.
Where we ended up going. Not to jump ahead in the story, but the what's the two the real R&B heavy songs.
Yeah. So what was the slowest one? I can't think of the one.
We did the video for it.
The Even If I Wanted To.
Yes.
We actually shot that one before
I ever got doing.
Before we even got into music.
It was when you were home on leave.
On leave. So we shot that one, and that one ended up going on the album. And then it was oh God, what was the name of the real slow one we did? The video. We did the video for it. I cannot believe I can't think of that song.
That's Even If I Wanted To.
Not Even If I Wanted To. The other one, the Heartbeat song.
Flatline.
Flatline.
Oh, sorry.
Flatline. Oh man.
Flatline was one of the three originals.
Flatline.
Hero wasn't one of the three originals.
Hero wasn't original.
Flatline was
an
one of the
original.
three originals. Okay.
Let me tell you something. Flatline.
Oh yeah.
Flatline was my Beethoven.
Yeah.
That is easily one of the best songs.
That could, and I'm not saying this because I'm your friend.
I ever wrote.
And I helped out on it.
Yeah.
That song could top any R&B chart.
Yeah.
Like today or when we originally did it.
You're too kind.
I'm serious. That's
well
written.
Yeah.
Well laid
Composed,
out.
Yeah.
Well produced.
Yeah.
And the beat, after once again, you created the original, the foundation of the beat. Track team put all his effects and stuff on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
love the original version of that song, and I love the produced for album version of that song.
Dude, Flatline was it really was one of those songs where it's like every hurt, pain, happy, sad.
Oh, it's an insane song.
You know, every single emotion.
I might put some of these songs at the end of the episode.
Dude, please do. Every single emotion.
I'll put one. If I had to put one, what would you want me to put?
Probably would be Flatline.
So put Flatline.
Flatline.
Okay.
Because I just that was one of those songs, man. As an artist, when you pour everything into something, that was it, hands down.
Okay,
best song I've ever written.
I'll make a note. I'll put Flatline.
You know, I don't like anything I do.
Yes,
you know this for a fact.
I do.
And it drives you nuts that I don't like anything I do. But Flatline, hands down, was just one of the best songs I ever wrote. I remember I gave it to a friend of mine, and he was a major league producer in Universal, and I had never seen this man show a shed of emotion. And I remember I was on my phone. I wasn't even paying attention to him. I turned around, man. He turned around, and he's dumping buckets.
Oh, yeah.
Buckets. You were there.
Dude, it is.
Yeah. And he was like, oh, my God. Dude, he was like, where have you, you know. So, yeah. So, that's cool.
So long story short, that's how we got started with it. Then Nick was stationed in St. Louis.
I was stationed in Fort Campbell, Kentucky.
Yeah. But Charlie lived in like East St. Louis.
Yeah.
So right in the Illinois.
Yeah.
Like was it? Yeah.
That's
Chicago,
like, Illinois, St. Louis.
Illinois, St. Louis type.
Like right in the middle, yeah.
And they had got a bunch of equipment, like a bunch of top-notch, like professional studio equipment.
Yeah.
And built a makeshift studio at Charlie's house. And
we
gonna no.
No, we can't do that. I'll call it back. I'll call you back. Yeah.
But I was about to say, if you FaceTime, that'd be ridiculous. But then so we decided after we had like 5 or 6 songs that we had kind of built the template to.
Yeah.
We were gonna fly to St. Louis and do them professionally and figure it out from there.
Yeah.
So we went there for I think a weekend.
Yeah.
It was like 3 or 4 days.
I mean, I don't even think it was that long, dude.
It might not have been.
I think it was like 2.5.
But
it was 3. It was 3. Because
I remember we got there in the afternoon, went to White Castle.
Yeah.
Because Charlie and Trax picked us up.
Yeah.
Went to White Castle and then went to a studio and never stopped.
So let me. When he says never stop, like literally, they lock me in the booth. Now, mind you, this isn't like a mega millionaire
it's a house
studio. It's a house, but the booth
and
itself was literally 4 hollow core doors padded with soundproofing. And of course, the section of the house I was in, there was no there was AC in the room, but there was no AC
in the booth.
Right? This thing is tiny. I mean, it's like
hotter than this garage.
One person only, hotter than this garage. I was literally in my underwear before the thing was over with. And I remember at one point in time, like, I was like, hey, guys, I'm hungry. They were like, you can eat when you're done, right? Yeah. And so, like he said, we went there with 5 or 6 songs. Okay, on the plane, I turned around and wrote another 2 or 3 songs. And this was all just beats. So what was supposed to have been a 5 or 6 song trip actually turned into 14 tracks. We did a total of 14 tracks in less than 48 hours. And to think about it is insane.
Yeah.
Insane.
I remember I went to sleep.
Yeah.
One like I think the second night in the living room, and woke up right after you guys did like the song that's similar to Angels.
Oh yeah.
Because there was a producer that came through.
Did everything, yeah.
A producer
CPD came through.
Oh, dude, there's so many funny stories from this.
Oh, CPD,
We'll tell this one. Like it's like I want to say it's like 1:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
Like the first night. And Charlie's like this. What's the guy's name?
What's that?
The guy that came by?
Oh, man. He just called himself the Chinese Puff Daddy.
Yes.
Yeah, CPD. Yeah.
CPD.
Yeah.
Came by. And granted, I'm like the token white guy in this whole scenario. I'm the only white guy there. Yeah. And which I have no problem with.
Well, you were until Nelly's producer showed up.
Yes.
Tom. Yeah.
And Charlie's like, CPD is going to show up. And we were like, I remember now, like, what? Who's CPD? And he's like, Chinese Puff Daddy. We were like, what?
Yeah.
So this guy shows up in like a $150,000 car.
Yeah.
Gets out in a shirt that looks like he just bought it from Belk's. Has the creases still in it. Solid white jeans and solid white shoes that have no marks on them at all.
No, yeah.
And he comes in there and he starts listening. And it's the most awkward thing ever because I'm like, I have no idea what's going on.
Oh, me neither.
No idea what's going on.
But
right now.
as the artist, I had to play it off like, oh yeah,
but it's like this is what you see in movies about how this happens.
It's crazy.
Yeah. And then he says, you know what this reminds me of, man? It reminds me of Puff Daddy Angels.
Yeah.
We're like, okay. So this was the first night that I went to
right.
see.
Yeah.
And we were like, okay, cool. And he's like, all right, I got to go. And he just leaves.
He bounced. Yeah.
And we're like,
do you like it?
Yeah. So, appreciate your input.
Yeah.
And then you did, what's the name of the song that's like Angels?
Everything.
Yeah.
Because y'all
were high. It's like
because I started
falsetto.
And then I think you or Charlie were like, yo, you need to sing that in falsetto.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? Ew,
I think Charlie said that because once again I woke up right after like I woke up to them booming it out of the bedroom and I walked in there, I was like, what is this?
And Charlie was like, yo, you need to say that whole thing like high. I was like, so I'm thinking like modulate. He's like, no, like sing it real high. He said like a girl. I said, what? So what he meant was falsetto. So I sang the entire thing in falsetto, and Jay Trax messed around and put this ridiculous effect on there.
Uh-huh.
And like I said, you woke up to it.
Yeah.
I hated it at first. I finished it, and I was like, this is the worst song on this album. And they're going bananas. Charlie's loving it. Trax is going bananas. Who else? I think Snoop was there. And they're going crazy. And I'm just sitting in the corner like, this sucks. I hate this song.
I think if I would have listened to it being made, I would have hated it. But the fact that I woke up to it and it hit me right out of the gate when I woke up, I loved it.
Yeah.
Because it was so different.
The other thing about that is too, I hate hearing myself.
Yeah.
But I had to hear myself in order to stay in key singing falsetto. Yeah. So that's why I really hated it. I was like, I can hear myself
over and over and over.
This sucks. I do not like this song. And I was like adamant about this song's not going on the album. And then Trax is like, yo, trust me, I know what I'm doing. And he played it the second time, I still hated it. The third time, I hated it a little bit less. Then the fourth time with the full effects, I was like, okay, all right, it can stay. So I was like, it can stay. And then by that time, you had woken up.
And I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
I remember I walked in and I said, who is this? And like, this is what Nick just did. And I was like, what? What?
Which is crazy.
And crazy. That was so. And then like we went to Trax's house.
Yeah.
That was in the Ghetto.
This was like in East St. Louis.
Yeah, this is probably the roughest part of town I've ever
it
been
is
to.
the roughest part of town you have ever.
And we saw a guy in a dress riding a horse on the side of the road.
On a cobblestone road.
On a cobblestone road.
Oh man.
And yeah,
we saw the dude get electrocuted trying to steal the AC unit.
We did.
That was funny, and then we ended up at this party. God, it was a lot of fun, but dude, it was
wild.
It
like
was
I
gangster.
feel like if we ever worked solely in the music industry, that's what our life would be. Like that couple
whole-
days
yeah.
is like
Every day for the
and
rest
I don't
of
know
life.
that I could handle it.
I was in my element. I was loving it. I was like, this is great. Oh,
I was like, I don't
man,
know what's
this
going
is
on. Like,
awesome.
what are we doing?
And Pastor's like, man, yeah, I can't wait to leave. No,
And then
you played it cool.
The last piece of it is like we had everything done, and Charlie's like, I got somebody coming over to mix it for us.
Yeah,
And it's this little white dude, looks like a little skateboarder white dude
it does.
that ends up being Nellie's
Nellie's producer.
producer.
Or,
His mixer or something like that.
his mixer and his
And watching him
Oh, he was amazing.
mix the stuff
Yeah.
made me want to do just go all into music and try to learn music.
Yo, shouts out to T, man. He made it sound amazing.
Dude,
you
it's
know.
ridiculous.
And dude, like,
Such a fun trip.
he charged like nothing.
Yeah.
You know, this is Nellie's official mixer, and he charged like nothing, and he was loving it.
Oh yeah.
You know, and he was like, man, I've done a lot of music. He said, but dude, like, this is good. You
Well,
know?
it's one of those things is you have so many talented people in one room.
Yeah, for sure.
It's the only thing missing from that element that would be like the world standards of professional music is having $1 million record deal behind it.
Really?
And us being in a big studio.
Yeah.
Because the amount of talent that was sitting in that room is insane. Once you think about it.
Yeah.
Like, Trax has gone on to get signed to a
He is,
label.
yep.
And he did that song with Murphy Lee.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got a few more good songs out. He might have an album out.
Yeah.
Like,
Shouts out to G Trax, man.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
dude, he's
awesome.
Super talented, dude.
Great dude. And I met this cat when he was 16. You know what I mean?
I remember you telling me about him.
We met him. I met him when he was 16. Charlie knew him his whole life. I met him when he was 16. At 16, he was dropping smoke.
And then you have Stoney.
You know, and then you got Stoney. You
can
know,
dance.
that could dance and smoke. Smoke could dances. Ace Off, man, dude was just. I mean,
Smoke. That's what I was thinking.
Smoke, yeah. And so I mean, it was just a it was a good time, but I could say it wasn't the right time.
Yeah.
If that makes sense, because you look back at it and you just think about it was just such a rush, and I don't think at any point in time anybody said, okay, stop. What's next?
Yeah.
I think it was just you do the music, you do the album, you do the video, and then what?
Yeah.
Right. And so
I
now,
can see that.
fast forwarding to 35, and also doing another 14-track album, which is a comedy album this time around, which was 10 times
The
more
funnest
fun.
time I have ever had
I've
doing
ever had.
anything in my life.
It was unfortunately it was the same scenario. We did the 14-track album. We went straight to Movember, straight to doing shows, and I think
we had more of a game plan.
we had
with
more of
that.
a game plan, but we still were kind of like, what do we do now? You know?
Yeah.
Um.
Well, it's the problem. The biggest ordeal is life.
Oh, sure.
Like life,
For sure.
life gets in the way.
For
and
sure.
it's and I think that's what happened because we have most of the second album done.
It is. Yeah.
I mean, we stayed on it after we released the
did.
first album. We sold 250 copies of the first album, and the only reason we didn't sell any more is because we didn't get any more printed.
Yeah.
Like that's what we decided. We were going to do 250, sell them, be done with it, move on. And but that's available at KanePunch.com.
Sure
It's
is.
called Spicy Tuna Roll.
It's delicious.
And we had, like I said, we were planning on putting out another one. It's just a matter of getting the studio put back together.
It is.
And getting
It is.
and finishing it.
Well, you got to have a baby.
Yeah.
I just had a
do.
baby. So that's one of those lives. In my
Yeah.
case, it was always babies.
Yeah.
So I'm on number 3.
Well, yeah, like you and Joel have 3 kids.
Just-
Nick King
yeah,
has 3
Nick
kids.
King's got 3 kids. I got 3. You're having 1. New job, new house, new staff.
Yeah.
Those things unfortunately happen. And
when you don't get paid to do.
yeah, and that's
what
a
you're
big
doing,
thing.
yeah.
Your plan B unfortunately becomes your plan A,
Yeah.
and then your
Well,
plan
you
A
have to in order.
you have to adjust.
I believe there's 2 ways to do things, and the way we do it might not be like what you have, like how you like your quick fix to success.
Yeah,
But we have always had jobs
yeah.
to support our artistic stuff.
Oh, for sure.
So we've never like just thrown everything away
and said we're gonna do
and don't have a girlfriend,
this.
don't have a wife, don't have nothing. We never did any of that and just went straight into art.
Yeah.
Like most people do. They get
Well, yeah. Because we were unfortunately, we're established to have a families and to be apart, be married before we really made the decision to say, okay, we're gonna do this.
Well, I think the thing is we didn't know that we wanted to pursue something like this until after we had me gone to college and you and Joel done your time in the military.
Yeah.
And
Well, I think it's more so we didn't know to what magnitude.
yes. Okay.
We
believe
wanted.
that.
I knew we always had a plan. Coming out of high school, we always said, "Hey, we're going to do X, Y, Z." For me, and this was really, it just hit me like a couple days ago. I never really wanted to be famous.
Yeah.
I just said I just want people to hear my music.
Yeah.
I want my songs heard. I never said how or why or when. Luckily, it just got to a point to where it got clout. I'm sure when you were doing wrestling, you just want to be a wrestler.
Oh yeah.
You weren't really too interested in
because I never wanted to be on the road
365
days a year.
and doing business. But look where you are now.
Yeah.
Same thing with Joel. Joel, I know he wanted to be a comedian, and I think at one point in time he was cool just doing shows here, shows there, and then boom, all of a sudden
he blew up.
He's touring and he's doing all these crazy things. Same thing with me. So I just don't think we understood the magnitude that comes with being an entertainer.
Yeah.
And
I
can say this with confidence, man, because I will flat out say I'm KanePunch's biggest fan. We're 360 all around. You know what I mean?
Well, it's about the like my big thing is creating experiences for me and my friends.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of the reasonings for the shows and the stuff that we do.
Yeah.
Number two is like just bring a little joy to this world.
You got to.
You know what I mean?
You got to.
There's so much BS going on
It's
crazy.
It's
like
crazy.
if we can take somebody, that's even with the wrestling company.
Yeah.
If we can take 500 or 600 people out of the world for a little bit and get them in our little bubble and have fun in our little bubble and create moments and this and that, then that's what it's all about.
Yeah, dude, you got to create pockets of happiness, just like you got to create pockets of success.
Yeah.
And enjoy those moments. And I think now at 35, I've learned to enjoy those moments of success.
That's yes. Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Before it was like, oh, this is great. I know it's great. Okay, what's next? Now it's like, oh man, that was awesome. Let me take a few moments to reflect on how awesome that was.
Yes.
How much joy I brought somebody else. You know what I mean? Because now when I see these people, they're already smiling, already laughing when they see me. Hey, look, man, it's real awesome to see you. Like I was at church today and somebody was asking about when's the next show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so that lets me know that people are also not so caught up in this super religious thing where they can't come down with the rest of us and have a good time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it just goes, I think it's just, like I said, 360 well-rounded group of what we got, man. And the timing is right.
Yes. Agreed. Like we're all mature enough and we're established enough and we can all, we all don't have like separate agendas.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like we all understand.
And like, even with that, we can still have our own separate projects.
Yeah.
But when we come together, it's all KanePunch. You
Yes.
know what I mean? It's about what we can do as a group. Because, like I said, you got wrestling. Joel's doing his thing. And, I think unbeknownst to you, I'm actually working on 2 books. You know what
Gotcha.
I mean?
Nice.
So, for me, writing has never stopped. So,
yeah.
But like I said, but you have to have your own thing.
True.
You know what I mean?
Well, see, I never have. This is the first time I've had my own thing.
And there you go. And so it's good
And
to
it's
have it
interesting.
because
It's cool.
what it does, it keeps you in practice.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because if you don't use it, you lose it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And with what you do is really now these days is a precious commodity. Having somebody that's well-rounded in audio, visual, business, and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And to an extent, for me as a writer, being adaptable in 2018, that I can give somebody something that I wrote years ago, they read it and they go, it's still relevant.
Yeah.
You know,
like it lives on.
it still continues to live
can
on.
outlive you.
It can outlive me.
Yeah.
And the same way with Joel and the way he does comedy, man. And for me, the reason I enjoy watching Joel do what he does is because the relevance of it
Yes.
just it holds. It's like, dude, you told that joke 9 years ago, and you tell it again in 2018, and people are still laughing probably twice as hard as they did the first time I heard it.
Yeah.
And for me, I can watch Joel do a whole set and still laugh like I've never heard it before.
Yeah.
Because he just presents it different every single time,
And it's so effortless.
And it's so effortless for him.
Makes me
you know,
so mad. Not like
doesn't it piss you off?
Yeah.
It's just like, damn you.
Like he did a spot at the last Cabarrus Brewing show, the CBC show, and he did 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Which is nerve-wracking to me.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that he had 15 minutes because he's been working on a bunch of new stuff. And like Joel has those jokes that you're talking about, but he doesn't like to go to them very often.
Very often, right.
He has 2 or 3 that he likes, that he just loves the jokes and he does them. But like I was watching him and I was filming him with his phone.
Yeah.
And I was just like, man. And like this girl said something about being Puerto Rican, and he had 3 jokes about her being Puerto Rican right there, and I was like, what? Like he's so quick-witted.
He's very.
But the thing, I think I figured this out when I watched him because I'm so buried into that I did well at our shows. Yeah. And I know that I don't worry about you guys doing well because you guys are the top guys. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like I realized it with you a long time ago when you did music. It's like I love watching my friends succeed at something that they're passionate about. That's the reason that I helped Zach Kwan with his music. And if there's some kind of art form or passion that you have that I can help you out with, then that's what I want to do. Yeah. And like that's what I figured out with Joel is I've never been able to sit and watch Joel. Like not that he hasn't been successful at things, I've just never been there, or been in the position to just like take
really
it in.
Watch what's going on.
Yeah, take in him doing something very well and very successfully. And that's where I think that's where I stand on the reason I do a lot of stuff is because I'm driven to create and like there's nothing better in the world than creating with your friends. Mm-hmm. Like especially when you all share the same idea and like ideologies of the like core of of what you're trying to do. Yeah. And you're all it's almost like being in a cult. You know what I mean? It's like you're all under the same. You're in the same understanding.
We're in a sexy boy cult.
Yes.
That's my kind of cult.
No. You know what I mean? It might be a
horrible
horrible analogy, but it's like 3 people. It's like whenever we do a KanePunch show, we all have like one common goal to make it the best experience that anybody can have. Yeah. Make it different than anything anybody's ever been a part of. Yeah. And like. And us all coming together and knowing how we butted heads before, how it's been kind of a struggle to get everybody like on the same wavelength to where we're all on the same page. When we're all on the same page, we see how successful it can be.
It just happens.
Yeah. It's
and that was something I was just preaching for years, man. It's like, we got to do business, but when we're doing business, let's make sure we're having some fun.
Oh yeah. Because for the longest time I wouldn't. Yeah. And
again, it's just because you are just who you are when it comes to perfection and wanting things to be done right, and I can appreciate that. Yeah. Because I'm the same way when I try to deliver. I've just learned over the years you can't expect everything to go right, but when it does, you got to enjoy it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that I'm going to go into it sloppy, not saying I'm not going to go into it prepared, but if in the back of my mind I got a little bit of something saying, hey, it can't be perfect. Don't go out there and be perfect. Just be you. Yeah. It makes sense because even when I started doing comedy, I remember when Joel first told me, hey, man, go up there and give me 7 minutes. And I'm like, what are you, nuts? Yeah. Like, have you bumped your head? Like, dude, I don't do comedy. He was like, I'm a host. That's it. That's all you get. If I get to crack a joke while I'm hosting, cool. He was like, no, man, I'm telling you, Nick, you're funny. You can do it. And I'm like, no way. And it took him and Mary to finally push me to get up there. And I remember sitting in the back of whose car were we in? I think we were in the back of Ryan's car. We were in Denver. And Mary handed me some index. And we got to tell that story. Okay. Mary Asher handed me index cards and a pen, and she was like, "Just write something down." I'm like, "Oh my God, okay." So I'm writing something down, and Joel finally shows up, and I'm like, "Here, look at these." He's like, "Okay, do this. Okay, fixed it." And he was like, "Okay, now you got 7 minutes." I'm like, "Oh God, here we go." And I remember Mary turns around, and she was like, this is going to help. And when I say this, I mean a doobie. I'm just going to say it. Yeah. Smoke a little with Jay. And went up there, man. And it wasn't the best 7 minutes, but it wasn't the worst 7 minutes I ever had.
Exactly.
And
it's not as good as you want it to be, but it's never
as bad as it could have been. Yes. And so for me, it kind of just said, hey, you know what? Like, maybe I can do this. Yeah. But what I had to figure out, and I didn't figure this out until we went and did that Ford tour, the short tour we did.
Yeah.
4 casinos. It was like six casinos in 4 days. I had to realize I can't do what Joel does.
Yes.
Because I thought in my mind, like, I got to do what Joel does or I won't
yeah.
be as funny as Joel. And if I'm not as funny as Joel, people won't laugh. And that came through when we went to UP night 2.
Yeah.
And because the crazy was, like, let me backtrack. We went on a tour with a comedian named Al Yance. Excuse me.
You got water right there.
Thank you. Yeah. Went on a comedy tour, my first comedy tour ever. And we went on a six casinos in 4 nights tour. And we're driving. Joel wasn't able to meet us on the first night because this is when Joel was in California doing music.
Okay, gotcha.
And so
was that? I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I didn't know that was the case. I thought he was here when they.
No. He was already in California. It was the first time he went. And
that makes sense now.
It was the first time he went, and when he was coming back, that's when he was letting everybody know he was going back to Cali to do music.
Gotcha.
So he had to meet us in the UP, and I don't know if you've ever been to the UP, which is Upper Michigan, Upper Peninsula, like close to Michigan. Like this is like in the borderline of Canada.
No.
So out there it's like wilderness, you know what I mean? So we call it the Bass Pro Shop because this airport, the private airport, looked like the Bass Pro Shop. Like there were like fake bears and cougars, and it looked like a wildlife museum.
Nice.
And then they had these 2 little runways, and that's how Joel got there. So Joel gets off the plane like Cali decked out, hat on backwards. He's wearing all white. He's got the skull buds in. He's coming out, and everyone's looking at this guy like, oh God, we're in trouble. You know what I mean? And me and Al are like, dude, Joe, So it was the funniest thing I've ever seen. So like I said, the first night it was just me and Al, and I was like, hey man, it's all you. Great comedy, great show. Oh dude, they were dying laughing. Everybody's having a good time. This is at the Panawanami in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
And great show. Oh man, killing it. Second night comes out. I go before Joel. And I get stupid nervous because I'm like, I can't blow this for my boy. Like, I'm just going to do what he does. And dumbest mistake I could because I'm killing it. I forget a joke. And then it turned into like, oh, my God, what do I do? And then I was like,
ladies and gentlemen, your next comedy, Joel.
Exactly. You know how I'll bail out in a second. All right, everybody, my name is Nick and I'm out. Your next comedy coming to the stage is already. So what should have been probably a 10-minute set turned into a 3.5-minute set.
Nice.
I bailed. I hit the eject button. I was out. Poof. And I remember I got done, and I'm sitting at the bar, both hands in my head, like,
oh, it's horrible.
Oh, this is it. I'm done. Comedy. That's my comedy career.
Your first bomb?
I'm not. Al's not gonna let me finish
First
this
time you
tour.
ever bombed.
First time I ever bombed.
Yeah.
In my mind.
Yeah.
Clearly, it was in my head because Al and Joe were like, "Dude, why didn't you finish?" I was like, "Oh, I was finished," and they were like, "No, dude, you had another. Like, you were doing good. What happened?" I was like, "Man, I forgot a joke." And Joel said, "That's because you weren't being you."
Yeah.
He was like, "You were trying to do me and not do you," and I was like, "Yeah, you're right." Unbeknownst, we finished the tour. Everybody had a really good time. Made some stupid money.
Yeah. It's crazy.
And yeah, it was just.
I want to get to that point at some point.
Oh, we're gonna get there because the cool thing about it is now it'll be on our own accord.
Yeah.
And not that we were on Al's coattails, but Al kind of
put it all together.
Kind of put it all together and put us out there. And I appreciate you for that, Al Yance, by the way. Hope you're still doing comedy. But it just showed me I could do it.
Yeah.
And I hope now that you've done it, it shows you that you can do it too.
I think so.
You just got to do it Pat's way.
Yeah. My thing is whenever I started, like, I don't know how to, me and a comedian were talking about this last night on the phone. I don't know how to put it, but when I started doing stand-up, it's not like I was doing it, like, cold.
Yeah.
Like, I'd never, like, I was decent at it because I had watched it every month, putting on the shows at Cabarrus for a year and a half. And I had seen you and Joel doing it, and I was just kept taking notes of like, okay, what this guy does, he did it right. He got it hit good. Okay. And then I just tried to piece it into what I was doing. Yeah. And I had like you, Joel, Jake, Evan, who helped me. Like if you write a joke, do it like this. If you do it like this. And and it's my thing now is I've never, and this sounds so cocky, but I do mean it to be, but I don't. Is that I feel like I could be better than anyone in the area if I put the time and work into it.
Absolutely.
It's not something that's going to come hard to me. Does that make sense?
Well,
It's not going to be something that if I don't like shut my mouth, listen, and let people teach me and learn, that I could be really good at this.
And that's what I was about to say. It's got to be a cross the street moment where you got to stop, look, and listen.
Yeah.
Because even when I was doing these shows, I would host, I would get off stage, and I had Thomas Davis, one of my awesome favorite mentors outside of Joel. This guy taught me so much in one night.
Yeah.
Because he literally just said, "Man, you did a great job, but I want you to do me a favor. I want you to shut up and just watch." And I said, "Okay." And this guy was well in his 50s, so of course I'm gonna do just that. I'm like, and that one night, in an hour and a half of set, this guy was on stage for an hour and a half, and people were dying laughing.
Yeah.
And I said, I want that.
Yeah.
I want people dying laughing for an hour and a half. But then I got to a point where I realized I'm more of a storyteller. So I've got to have those moments of silence so that people can listen.
Yeah.
And then hit them.
Yeah.
And then they die laugh. So you're not going to get 30 minutes of just insane laughter the entire time. But I've learned to where I can hit them and make it last. And then, or I'll tell a good story and people will come back and say, "Was that story true?" And I can be like, "Yeah," and they'll be like, "Oh man, I can't,"
Yeah.
So it's all about how you're approaching. It's all about finding your style. Joel just has a well-rounded style. He could tell a story. He could pop a quick joke. He do this.
Well,
then I've actually learned that my little stupid quip jokes are starting to work too.
Yeah.
You know what I
mean?
mean?
Well, with Joel, it's almost like you're having just a one-on-one conversation with him.
It really is.
And it's like, oh, this guy. It's like if you don't know him and you go see him for the first time.
You know about him.
You met him.
Yeah.
And he's a super cool dude, and then he's one of those guys that just you meet and he just makes you laugh all the time. And you're like, this dude's hilarious.
Yeah, for sure.
And
I hate him.
Yeah,
I hate you.
This my thing is, and like it's a weird balance because I told myself when I started doing stand up that I was gonna be true to myself.
Yeah,
like I'm not gonna change my character. Or it's not really a character; it's just a exaggeration of who I really am.
Right.
It's me like being a little more of what I am, and that's what makes it easy to me. But sometimes when when people give me advice, you have to decipher: are they helping me, or are they telling me how to do it their way?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
There's a fine line.
Yeah, and I made the decision because I bombed. I've done really well a few times. I bombed once. I talked to someone that was there and they're like, "No, you didn't really bomb. I've seen people bomb. You didn't bomb.
Yeah.
You just got lost on a few jokes."
Yeah.
And that happens when you're learning. I'm like, well, that doesn't happen. That's not going to happen to me.
Yeah.
I want to hit the ground running, be good from the start. I know that's not the traditional way.
Yeah.
That's not what everybody says is supposed to happen. You're supposed to do 2 or 3 years before you can have a 10-minute set. No, I'm gonna have a 10-minute set in less than a year.
Yeah.
That'll kill.
But that's,
that's just my drive.
It's just one of them. Practice makes perfect.
Yeah.
The more you do it, the better you get.
That's what I was like I was saying yesterday to the same comedian I was talking to. I was saying like I'm loving the fact of what's going on in my life right now with the baby on the way, and it could be here any minute. But I hate it because I can't just go. You know what I mean?
But you know what? Honestly, right now you're in a sponge mode. Right now you got the opportunity to absorb.
Yes.
And I would say, as crazy as it sounds, watch every single thing that happens in that birthing room.
Oh, I will.
Because you're going to walk out with an entire set.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like an entire set. Because I know every birth is different.
Yes.
And I know there are funny stuff that I want to say, but for the sake of my wife, I don't.
Yeah.
But it's going to come out.
And
you know what I mean? I'm just going to tell you flat out, like, honey, you're going to have to excuse me, but it's coming out. Like,
and I'm finally, Katie's cool about it.
Yeah.
Because I wrote a joke about Psy.
Yeah.
That's I think's hilarious that I can't wait to do. I'm going to do it at the October 18th show.
Nice.
And and like I'm gonna step into October 18th. I could step into October 18th at Cabarrus, saying I know my start. I know I can finish with the flair deal. That always hits. That's always good. But I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
I'm going to give 6 minutes of brand new material.
There you go.
That I've never used to see how it goes. And I mean, like I said, it's a shot in the dark. But I've practiced it, laid it out. I haven't done it in front of a crowd, which I know is a traditional thing to do. But sometimes you got to work with what life's giving you. You know.
The jokes that I put out at the Bella show, 20% made up on the spot.
Really? Yeah. See, I'm so scared to do it.
20%
I'm
made up on the
so
spot.
scared to
I
make
knew
up
the
on
premise
spot.
in my head.
Okay.
I never wrote it down.
Okay.
And so honestly, it was right when I started my set about black church. Matter of fact, that whole set was made up.
Gotcha.
The picking cotton joke and all that was just off the spot. It was a true story.
Yeah.
But it was like, it just came to me. I was like, why did I never think about this before? Like, white boy picking cotton. Like, that's hilarious.
It'll take me about 2 years to get that comfortable to where I can come up with stuff.
But for me, it was a milestone. It was a milestone for me because I had never done that before. Like, I always stuck to the script. Like, it was like, okay, stick to your jokes, go out a little bit, come right back to the jokes. Yeah. At that point, when they started laughing, I was just like, I'm on a roll. I'm just going to keep going, see what happens. And then that turned into, it actually evolved from the Prince Jesus joke.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I started with that, and I was like, I'm kind of on a roll. Let me just throw this out there. And so, and that will happen. I'm telling you, that will happen. And when that happens, it's like, you got them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it makes me nervous for the next show because that's all I think about now. It's like, okay, next show, what I got? Because that's the thing about when you have a good set. The expectation is when you come back to a place, you got to have something else, And so that's kind of
the term you're only as good as your last set.
That's kind of like that fork in the road thing. Like, well, do I go left and go home and stay safe, or do I go right and really go out there?
That's the beauty of it, though.
But I got some good Thanksgiving jokes. Yeah. I'm excited. I got some stuff, man. I'm excited. Nice. I got some Christmas and Thanksgiving jokes. I'm ready for the holidays.
Oh yeah,
ready to go.
It's just fun, man.
I do want to. I know you're the host, but can we just? I want to change directions real quick because I want to get to a positive. You're about to have a baby.
I am.
How you feel?
I'm eerily calm.
Like calm before the storm.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
This goes to the I don't know. I think me and my mom were talking about this the other day. I'm not nervous about it.
Right.
I want to get through the birth piece of it, and baby G's safe and healthy, Katie's safe and healthy.
For sure.
And get through that.
For sure.
But I really just wanted to get here so we can experience it and go. As opposed to waiting it might be this weekend. Yeah. Oh no, another week, and it might be this weekend. And it's like, well, are you okay? Do we need to go?
Yeah.
No, we're good. And it's just like, oh my, this is tearing. And I had to set this thing up with you today, and it's like, I don't know, the plan is for 4:00, but I don't know what can happen.
Right.
We stayed at my parents' house last night because we're closer to where the hospital is, and nothing happened. It's just like,
it's usually how it goes.
It's like I was telling somebody at SASS school, I was like, if somebody has $100 bill, and it's like, I got $100 bill for you,
but I can't give it to you.
Yeah, and they're like, you know what? I'll give it to you next weekend. And then next weekend comes along, and you're like, that's good analogy. Nope. Next weekend.
You know what? I'm not gonna give it to you this time. Nah. I'm gonna hold it.
And it's almost to the point now in my head that whenever they're like, okay, you can have it, I'm like, just give me the damn $100 bill and just get the fuck out of here.
I'm gonna tell you,
man. It's ridiculous.
You know you're gonna get Mike Jones. You know you get Dr. Jones, right?
I did. I'm not.
Oh, you're not?
No, because we have to go to Novant. So that's the thing. But that's one of my favorite stories ever.
Oh, that's the worst. Dude.
One of my favorite stories ever.
I never want to punch you so hard.
There's a doctor at the facilities the system that Nick's wife Germany had their baby, or their. I think it was the second one.
It was the first one. It was the first one.
No, it was the second. Because you had said, it might have been. Was it Peyton?
It was Peyton,
okay.
Yeah. The second time was smooth. Yeah, it was
okay. Yeah, and I go visit Nick, and I walk in, and they both look like they've been through a war zone.
Oh Jesus!
Because they'd been there for a day, about a.
We were there
12, 14 hours, something like that.
At that point in time, we were there for 16 and a half hours.
Yeah, okay, and. Nick looks at me and goes, listen, besides the fact that this doctor's name is Mike Jones, if he walks in here and says, let's have a baby, I'm going to punch him dead square in his fucking face. And at that moment, there's
here he comes.
Hey, guys, who's ready to have a baby? And Nick just gives me this look like, it's going down.
It's going down. I'm about to dick this guy. I give him the biggest hug afterwards, though, man.
He's a good doctor,
an awesome
man.
dude. He's an awesome guy. He's just, when you're in that moment.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like, Get this freaking baby out of my
We've been
freaking
ready.
wife,
We've been ready for like a month.
and let's
guys.
do this,
Yeah,
right? Don't
yeah.
come in here and ask me and finger my wife one more time and ask me, am I ready to have a baby? I say that loosely, but that's literally what was happening.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. And then the thing about it is, as the dad, you just got to sit back and just take whatever happens, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
'Cause he's gonna get in places you've not been allowed to go in a long time. You know?
And it's like I don't know where.
I had the bad gig growing up. You know, could have been a doctor.
I don't know.
It's such a dirty, true joke, though.
It is.
I love it.
That's the one thing is I don't know what I'm gonna do whenever the baby's being born.
Yeah.
I don't want to be down there.
No.
Do they put up like a sheet? Or there's her legs up? There's
stirrups.
If I'm at her head, I can't see.
No, you can't see. Yeah, unless you end up like the mirror. Like
oh no, they asked. Dude, we went on the tour. And they were like, "This is a super nice room, big room." And Katie's like, "These are nice rooms." I'm like, "Don't get your hopes up. These are the rooms that the baby's born in.
Yeah,
you go to the shitty rooms after the baby's born in this room."
Yeah.
And then they're like, and also, just in case you want to watch, there's a mirror right here. And I was like, "What the hell?
Yeah,
No,
crazy.
Like who chooses to have a mirror?"
I would say the first one I had to hold a leg.
Like when you watch crazy show on TV, you can turn it off.
Yeah,
with a mirror, there's no
turn it
like.
off. Yeah, you glance, you're stuck.
And if she looks, and she's like, "I don't want to see it," I'm the one that's gonna have to flip it.
Yeah, so you're really
So then I'm gonna see it.
well. I
Like
had,
first person.
I had the sour end of the deal because I had to hold a leg the first time she was born.
No.
When Peyton was born, I had to hold a leg. I had the
No.
right leg, and that thing got heavy. And
bet.
we're talking about 14 hours of holding a leg. You know what I mean?
Dude, have you seen Crosby's kids?
Yeah.
Little boys? They're horses.
Yeah.
We went out to eat with them yesterday. No, Friday night. And I was holding one, the bigger one, and my arm within 30 seconds of picking him up was gone. Like gone. Like I was holding him up on my shoulder.
Crazy. Crazy.
I was like, "Matt, I was trying to be a good friend, but I need you to take
the child back. Yeah. Oh man, but yeah, dude. And the reason I brought that up, man, is just that you know,
it's a big point.
It's a big point in your life, and I know it's
big
a
chapter.
a big chapter in your life. Joel's getting married.
Yeah.
Next weekend.
Dude? It's amazing that all that can happen like in the same week, within a week of each other.
And then he got a promotion. Congratulations!
Oh,
man.
did he get it?
GM. He's
Nice.
GM in Salisbury, man. So make sure
I hadn't
y'all
talked
get
to
down
him
there.
since he
Yeah,
had the interview.
So he made GM, man. Shouts out to that dude. Like I
Yes.
said, you're having a baby. He's getting married. He just made GM. I got a promotion.
Dude,
a lot of good stuff is happening for the Plan B, man, which isn't a bad thing.
No, heck no. Plan B pays the bills.
That's why I say sometimes your Plan B becomes your Plan A so that you can make room for the Plan B. You know what I mean? And it's like you said, man, life happens, man, but that doesn't mean bad things in life are happening. And that life is a negative thing, man. Because the thing that drives me nuts now is just like people are so freaking negative.
Yes.
And it's just like, that's why I love what we do, because we can break that monotony, whether it's for an hour and a half, whether it's for 20 minutes, and just say, you know what, life isn't really as bad as you think it is.
Yeah.
And let's do some great stuff, man. So
well, we've always been very positive
for sure,
like people.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, we get down sometimes, like everybody does, but we've always kept each other super positive. But yeah, we're all at very good points in our life, and we're all 35.
Yeah, we are all 35. Yeah, I'm the baby. I brought up the rear.
I know.
Wah.
But
yeah,
I don't know, man.
Yeah,
it's just if I could like I said, I say this numerous times, but if I died tomorrow, I've had better experiences in my life than most people get in their entire life.
For sure,
they live till 80 or 90.
For sure.
So that's what it's all about.
Well, I mean, the thing about it is, man, the one thing that I can go out, like you said, saying is, man, the things that I set out to do, I've done.
Yes,
and sometimes more. I tell people all the time, a lot of people say, man, Nick, you've done so much. And when I think about it, I'm like, not really. But then I'm like, well, kind of.
To everybody else, it's like, what?
To everybody else, it's like, well, dude, you've done this. And this. I've been a school teacher, all this kind of stuff. And when somebody asked me one day, they were like, Nick, like, why do you do everything you've done? And I said, it really came down to when someone tells me that I can't.
Exactly.
I got to figure out 100 ways to show you that I can,
Well, it's
even if it's at the minimum,
Yeah,
I can play an A chord. I can play an A chord on guitar, but I can still play the A chord.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's a glass half empty, half full, but I can still play an A chord.
GCD.
GCD
all day.
So I played it. I said I could do it. I could do it.
AC/DC song.
AC/DC, we're good. You know what I mean?
But Yeah, like my big thing is, if there's something that you want to do in life,
Try it.
you're the only one stopping yourself from
Try
doing
it.
it. And another beautiful thing about our friendship and what we do is we don't judge success by industry standards or the world standards.
Exactly.
We have our own mindset of what success is.
But you know,
And some people look at that as a bad thing. Some people look at that as a good thing.
Well, the thing about it is now in 2018, there really isn't an industry standard.
No.
When you think about it, and as much as people as people give these new artists hell about being mumble rappers, they're still doing it.
Yeah.
That's
the
they
music.
use YouTube,
If that's the music,
they use SoundCloud. You don't hear about people being signed to major labels anymore.
Yeah, true.
It's not like
Because you don't need a major label.
when we were trying to come up in the game.
Yeah,
You know,
you had to do it
we
yourself.
called the game
Or
because
you had to do it with someone.
We had to know somebody that knew somebody that knew somebody, just to get a foot in the door. Not even get a foot in the door, just to get somebody to say, listen to this.
Get a chance to get opportunity.
Get a chance to get opportunity, right? I tell people, like, we came up in the mixtape era, son. Like, yo, people were dropping mixtapes, and if the mixtape hit, then you were on. We did a mixtape. I mean, Spicy Tuna Roll was a mixtape.
It was.
If you want to be honest. So the mixtape isn't what makes people famous anymore. Now it's about likes on Facebook, likes on YouTube, trolling. You know, it's a whole different ball game. And so that's why I say there really isn't an industry standard anymore.
True.
I mean, you've got
Might be a dated reference.
Big Baby, who it's not a dated, and I'm glad you brought it up because you think about it, Danielle Bregoli, whatever her name. Now she's a rapper, 15 years old, by the name of Big Baby.
Yeah.
And she got famous for cussing out Dr. Phil.
Yeah.
And disrespecting her moms on TV. Like, you think I'm finna disrespect V moms?
No.
You're crazy.
No.
If I want to live,
Mom V will handle.
Mom V's will handle that. But that's the world that we live in now, and it just feels good to be relevant.
Yeah.
To everybody.
It just feels good for people to appreciate your art form.
Right. Because you think about trivia, right? And I'm just gonna bring this up because y'all have done this now 2.5 years. Two and some change.
Yeah. About 2.5.
Yeah,
Maybe 2.5
y'all started in
I think June.
June. 2 June.
It was either May or June.
May. Y'all started in May because I
2
started.
years ago.
Yeah.
We started June when we did Queen City Q.
Yeah. So May.
Yeah.
You know, two and some change, and you think about the crowds that come through there.
Yeah.
Right. You got all ages, super young, super old, and every time that I come and I leave, everybody always says that was a good time.
Oh yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Man, you guys got something. So, like I said, it's good to know in 2018 we're still relevant.
Yeah.
And that's why I say the timing couldn't be better. The thing me and Joel did, which is super awesome, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Appreciate that opportunity.
Oh, yeah. They said it was awesome.
Man, I mean, older crowd, funniest, best crowd
dude.
I've ever dealt with in a long time.
Greatest.
You know, and it was like entertaining my parents. You know what I mean? So it was a lot of fun, man. They responded well. You know, I think that tree stump joke went off real well. You know, it was just such a good time.
Heck yeah, man.
You know,
don't judge an audience by its
you
cover.
and you really can't. You really can't.
The first time we did that.
Yeah, and I will say this, man. Don't look at your crowd and think this is gonna suck.
This might not be for me.
This may not be for me.
Because that's exactly what me and Joel thought when we first went there.
But those guys were awesome, man.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you, man, I can't wait till my first senior citizens dance. Holler.
We're taking bookings for all events.
And now a shameless plug. No, dude.
KanePunch Comedy.
KanePunch Comedy, hit us up. KanePunch.com. Hit us up. We're booking right now.
Not responsible for any broken hips.
Bar mitzvahs? Mazel tov.
We're down. We just want to entertain. We just want to create.
We'll do kid shows. We don't even
We
care.
will. We will.
Is your baby turning 1? Hit us up. We'll do chocolate milk shots all night long.
I
We
love
got
it.
baby's jokes.
I love
great.
it. Well, Nick, tell everybody where they can find you on social media.
Yeah, man. You can find me at Rick Dynasty 1 on Instagram. You can catch me at Nick Clemency Comedy on Facebook. And, of course, if you can check us out at home base at KanePunch.com.
That's it. Well, dude.
My friend.
Thank you for finally getting on.
Man, I'm glad to be on, man. And good, best of luck to Chewsday.
Chewsday Special.
Chewsday Special. Can you what's the basis of that?
The Chewsday?
Yeah, the Chewsday.
Katie and Sal always pick on me because I don't say Tuesday.
You say Tuesday.
I say Tuesday.
You do say Tuesday.
I've said Tuesday forever. And when I decided I was going to do my own podcast, I was trying to come up with a name. And Katie's like, I was Katie, what do you think the name could be? Because I was going to do like Price is Right or something like that, some bullshit.
Price is Right.
Yeah. But I was going to spell like my wrestling name was Patrick Wright. Price is WRIGHT. And just so I wouldn't get sued.
You should do a segment called The Price is Right.
Price is Right.
And just deal with like new electronics that are coming out.
And
Call me for that segment.
And Katie's like, I don't know what day are you going to release it on. I said Tuesday. And she goes,
Yeah.
Tuesday, Patrick. And I said Chewsday Special. Boom.
I just want to double check because I was like, when I think chew, I think food. I'm like,
that's
food,
the
a
big
food
thing.
podcast down.
Yeah, I think whenever I want to grow it, like now I'm just using the podcast, which I love doing the podcast because of conversations like this.
That's great.
I'm doing the podcast to build like the foundation, and we got the Patreon page. It's Patreon.com/Patrick Price. That you go monetary, and the more I get with that, the more stuff I can do. Like I can cost-effective buy equipment to do, et cetera, et cetera.
All right, here we go.
And we could do.
Count me down. Count me down. Here we go.
In 3.
Listen up, ladies and gentlemen across America. If you're listening right now, this is the Chewsday Special Podcast with your host, Patrick Price. He has a Patreon page. He wants to grow his business. The only way he can do that is if you support him. Where can they find you on this Patreon page?
Patreon.com/Patrick Price.
Make sure you go on the Patreon page, show him some support, allow him to grow his business so that he can become better for you. All right, that's it. That's my plug.
You're the man.
Absolutely, man. This is
We're
fun.
going to hit him with a flat line.
Yeah.
Close this thing out.
Flatline. Hey, just listen to the song.
Let's do the song and comment. We'll do this. Like comment, leave a review on iTunes.
Yes.
Or you leave a comment on the YouTube spot. Mm-hmm. Or just send a message to Nick on his social media that he gave you earlier and tell him we need to get this full album out. Because we do. We have all the songs and it's there. So.
Also,
Nick,
make sure you are staying up on KanePunch.com so you can check
Please.
us out when our next shows are coming out. Right now,
November and December.
And this is me with my hands folded into a prayer that we can start our brewery tour real soon.
Yes, we're working on that.
We're working on that. So hopefully I promise you guys, if you push us, we will deliver.
We will. Tell your local breweries
you want KanePunch there.
Soon. So we're going to hit them with Flatline. Dying on the inside.
Joe,
thank you, buddy.
My friend is going to find one. Love you.
Love you, man.
I told you. I told you I was going to make it without you. Feels like single, you can have everything you ask for, but it don't really matter when it's all gone. And you gotta find a way to move on. Well, it's hard to say I tried, but now that the well is all dry, I gotta find a place to hide, so I never have to see your eyes. Tell me how could you? That line got me dying on the inside. Can't believe you lied. Now it's time to say goodbye. That line got me dying on the inside. Can't believe you lied. Now it's time to say goodbye. Once again, it's the same old thing. Heartbreak. I guess I should get over it, but I can't. You should be the one that's filled with pain and got me crying again. See, I tried to get over you so many times. I gotta find a place to run and hide, 'cause I still feel you on the inside. Tell me how could you? Got me dying on the inside. Can't believe you lied. Now it's time to say goodbye. That line got me dying on the inside. Can't believe you lied. Now it's time to say goodbye. I guess this is the point where things get better, but that only happens in a fairy tale. You left me in the cold without no shelter. I guess I didn't know you very well.
I probably should have seen it coming. I guess I didn't see it right. Everything is dark, I must be going blind. And this is how it feels when I die. Got me dying on the inside. Can't believe you lied. Now it's time to say goodbye. But that line got me dying on the inside. Can't believe you lied. Now it's time to say goodbye.
Thank you for listening to Chewsday Special Podcast. Subscribe on iTunes, leave a like on this video, and comment down below. Oh yeah.